Welcome to day 204 of the 300 Movie Challenge. Today we watched the highest grossing film of May 2011, which was Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
Wait, I just realized something.
Hmm?
Huh?
The other movies, the subtitle at least had to do with the plot.
Yeah.
How does this doesn't have anything to do with the plot?
Nope, they have
No.
nothing to do with tides.
Why
Uh,
couldn't they call it like Pirates of the Caribbean and the Fountain of Youth?
Well, that makes it sound like Harry Potter, but like I don't know,
Yeah.
or like, or just the Fountain of Youth, or something,
Finding
or
the
some,
search for the Fountain of Youth.
whatever, something that at least would
Of
fit
two
better.
sparrows.
Two sparrows.
Because, it would at least go with, like, the beginning of the film
I
and
mean,
stuff.
it would never come up again, but okay, actually,
Just something to do with the, like, a portion of the movie.
yes, I don't know.
But I guess another thing too is that there wasn't much pirating.
No, okay, because here's the thing, like, I noticed, there's, like, no... Okay, there's Jack, there's Gibbs, and there's Barbossa, and that's it. There's no
Yeah.
other returning characters.
There's not even like the glass eyeball guy.
Yeah, so we see, like, no other characters. Like, I even thought we would see... I mean, of course we're gonna see, like, you know, Will and Elizabeth or whatever, right?
Apparently not.
I guess not. Okay, so...
I guess they're just dead now.
Yeah, that was weird that there's like literally everyone else is new and the movie doesn't really go into anybody else either. So it's like they didn't even attempt to make you care about like anyone except I guess what's her name?
Angelica?
Yeah, but like she's weird. I don't know how to feel about her.
Yeah.
I don't like the fact that there's a love interest.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, even if it's an ex-love, well, it's a kind of weird love
Yeah.
interest.
So
But going on with the whole pirate, there was very little pirating thing. They weren't even on a ship for most of the movie. They were trekking.
yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay, I kind of understand that, of course, there are islands and you have to, like, traverse the islands and stuff, but all the other movies primarily took place on the open sea and
Yeah,
everything.
because, I mean, pirates, you know, ocean, boat.
Yeah, I mean, really, I mean, the whole only thing I can think of that to do with the boat was the whole like mutiny thing near the beginning,
Yeah.
and that's it. And that was like what 10, 15 minutes at
Yeah.
most. So, I mean,
I
then,
mean, even in the beginning of the film, you're in London.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the only other thing that's like half ship-y is the mermaid thing, which I don't really know how to feel about that either.
Uh,
Like,
Mermaids.
The
Really?
first thing that I told these guys before going into the movie was that there will be mermaids.
And we were like, what?
And indeed, there were mermaids.
I wish they went all the way, with like the whole, you know, they're actually like vicious or whatever. Like I wish they went like really ridiculous, and they like fucked up the design that they were like really like nasty looking or whatever, and they went kind of like that area because at least it'd be like a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But and then, well, and then literally out of nowhere when they like have the mermaid, they're carrying her on the island and they drop the box and oh wait, she has legs though. It's like what? Like literally,
Yeah, it's
is
just
that
like,
a thing? Like besides Little Mermaid, which again had the whole super magical thing to get you legs. So like, what the fuck? Like, is that a
No,
thing
but-
ever?
not only that, it's kind of just like if she would magically get legs, what was the whole point of putting her in the glass casket?
I mean, maybe you could argue they didn't know that, but still, it's so
Pirates,
random.
they should know that.
No, and they didn't make like any big deal about it at all. They're just like, oh, well now you have to walk, and it's like, what? Huh? Like I was so
like-
confused.
Excuse me.
And then that turns into, I mean, it was kind of already there, but that after that, it's much worse. The whole romance with her and the missionary guy or whatever, and it's really cliched, like really bad. And See, I would have thought it would actually be funny, and I was like, they're not gonna do this. But I had the tiniest bit of hope that they would actually like, at the very end, have it that she was actually playing along just to get him, like the whole time. But no, they really she does care, and even though she's this, you know, apparently vicious creature with fucking fangs, that actually she does love him, or so it's like, what? Okay, whatever. So yeah, I don't get that.
Probably the only thing, even though I can see how it can be cliche and everything, I was like,
At least it was cute.
yeah, I was like, at least there's like one cute thing that I can say is like, okay, even though it's cliche, everything, at least it's not just the weird. That was the better love relationship than the other love relationship, which we kind of.
I miss Will and Elizabeth. Like, movie 1 and movie 2, Will and Elizabeth.
Yeah, movie 3 they got a little weird, but 1 and 2 were fine. Yeah.
I miss them.
And instead we have Angelica and Jack and the very weird relationship thing that it is.
I'm super not convinced by their relationship.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
I think part of it is like you're kind of supposed to not really like know what the deal is, but I don't know. It's just, yeah, I didn't like either of them. They're both on opposite spectrum, where one of them relationships is really much like all up in the air and who knows. The other one's very, very, very obviously straightforward, but I don't know. I felt like they were both too extreme for what they were, and it's just like, but
Yeah.
I don't know. So,
Whatever.
yeah, and then there wasn't really anything else that like I could think of that would actually was like, oh, that was neat. Like, I mean, visually, it's fine, I guess. But it's
Well,
really, it's
actually-
not that. Okay, here's the thing. This came out what, like 4 or 5 years after the last ones, and it looks basically the same.
Yeah.
No, actually, I would argue that it looks worse because at least with the other ones, like I still remember how like in the second one you see like the nice blue sky against like the greenery.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. The colors were really washed out in this. That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It's
like,
all dark and grimy and gray and everything, and it's like, are we in the Caribbean or
Oh.
are we in like some foggy, dark?
Well, actually, you know, when like they get to like the Fountain of Youth or whatever, and then Angelica's like, "It's beautiful," and I'm like, "It is." Like, it's just
not.
kind of like steamy jungle that's kind of foggy, and it's like really gray, and you're just like, "Okay, this is really underwhelming."
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I meant more in terms of like visual, like the effect quality or whatever.
Oh.
That looks basically the same, which like it should look better though. So,
yeah.
but yeah, and then the art style looks worse. So,
Yeah.
and then like
so sad.
the characters are just whatever. They're not very interesting. They don't really with the returning people. They don't really do anything that's that interesting with them. The new people, they don't really do that much either. Like I felt like Blackbeard could have been kind of neat with like the whole. Because I was interested at first when he was like, oh, he has these kind of like weird kind of paranormal powers or something. But they literally never go into that. So
No, we don't go into his sword other than it has it's magical.
it can
and-
like control the ship, but like more than that too, I guess. So yeah, that was weird. I'm like, there's at least gonna go into that. No, so there's that, and then yeah, there's the plot's kind of just whatever. Just I was thinking in my head, I'm like, how would I describe this movie? And I'm like, shit happens, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Like-
not bad, it's just I don't care. So,
And I guess the thing is too is that it's like I think Gibbs was probably my favorite character of this movie. And he
Yeah.
doesn't even appear for that much.
no, he just at least has some, like, personality and a bit of a, you know,
Yeah.
thing to him. But yeah, it's just kind of... I saw this movie and it was a movie, and that's kind of it. There's really
Yeah.
nothing remarkable about it.
Kind of underwhelming, and
Yeah.
just stick with the first 3 because, I mean, you have to see the third one in order to understand the second one's, like, climax. Well, the ending. So, 1, 2, 3. you're fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch after that.
Well, because also it was weird that like the blah 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 blah, that like I feel like the third one, I don't remember. I honestly don't really remember how it ended that well, but it was like, did they actually? They did mention the Fountain of Youth in the third. Oh yeah, because that was the whole sea chart thingy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's fair enough. But like, even with that, it still felt like this one just kind of like the plot is just like happens. Like you don't really feel a connection to the previous movies, like at all.
No.
And I think
Yeah.
part of the problem of that is the lack of returning characters.
Yeah.
So it really just felt like, oh, we're watching this. Okay, like, it kind of reminds me of like the
It's like the continued adventures of Jack Sparrow, but it's kind of forgetting the
By
fact
himself, except
Yeah.
with Gibbs.
sometimes.
it'd kind of be like in Dawn Treader, if like the same thing. And again, Dawn Treader has its own issues, and I'm not saying this would have made Dawn Treader better or worse, but it would be like if Dawn Treader started and it was just none of the the kids. It was just Prince Caspian sailing to find the dudes.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I sure there's a connection, I guess, but like, huh? You know what I mean? It's like out of nowhere, right? So, because the thing is, like, and I've seen this said before, that like a problem with the Pirates movies, especially the newer ones. This is, and especially they kind of said how it was true for like all of them after the first one, but it's definitely much more of an issue here. And the problem they say is that Jack shouldn't be the main character,
Yeah.
right? Because the first one he definitely wasn't. The second and third he kind of was, but it was more of like a team kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't just him. Where here it's him, right? And so I can see where like he does fit a bit better as more of like a side character, like a prominent side character, but not like the main character, because he does
Kind of like the sidekick.
yeah, he does get kind of annoying. So, and also just because of his personality, he's not like a plot. He's not what's the word when like you're
A
driving.
platformer?
He's not
Yeah.
proactive.
Yeah, plot pro in terms of he's not really. It's very like they kind of try to pretend he is because like he really was planning this when he wasn't. But it's like but that's not who he is. He seems as the
No.
very much like reactionary. I'll do it as I go, which doesn't drive a plot. So yeah, I mean, let me put it this way. If I didn't know going into this that it, pretty much everyone says it's worse than the previous ones. If I didn't know that, after seeing the third one and someone said, hey, there's a fourth one, I would have been like, all right, sure. Right? Even though
Yeah.
the third one had some problems and someone said, hey, there's a fourth one, I'd be like, okay, I could at least check it out, see how it is, right?
Yeah.
I would even ignoring the fact that I know that the fifth one is out and it sucks, after seeing this, I'm like, yeah, I have no desire to see a fifth one. So, and well, apparently that's what a lot of people said because it didn't make that much money. So,
Nope.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's going to be a sixth one.
let's see if they have said anything about that. Actually, I don't think so, but I didn't hear anything about it. So let's see.
If there is or isn't, I wouldn't be surprised either way.
It says they are making a sixth film
Okay.
because apparently, that the fifth movie. It says here, a quote from the director of the fifth movie, that it was only the beginning of the final adventure.
Only
So-
the beginning?
Yeah, and apparently there's a post-credit scene that shows Davy Jones.
Oh,
So, okay, and then it says in September 2017, the producer said, "Oh, there will be another movie if this one does well in its home releases." Which I don't know, did it? I don't think so. But it says in October 2017, the sixth film was confirmed, and some person said it was contracted to return. Who is this person?
Do they have any
Someone who was just in
wait.
someone who was just in the fifth movie.
oh.
And yeah, okay. It says as of August 2018, it is in development. So
Great.
okay, I guess that's something, but yeah. Because how much? Okay, how much money did this one make? It made.
I mean, probably not that much, right?
Okay, it made almost 800 million.
What?
That's actually a lot. I thought it made much less than that. Wait a minute. What's the domestic? Because maybe that was the problem, is that, like, it really didn't do that well in North America, but let's see. Okay, yeah, it only made 170 million in the US and Canada.
Oh, wow. Oh my god.
Yeah, so okay, it was the lowest grossing film in the series in the US by nearly 70 million.
Wow.
Yikes.
But it was the highest grossing entry internationally.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
So it gained almost 600 million internationally.
What?
Wow.
Mostly China,
Wait, they
because of
switched
course.
directors? Or...
I don't know, but yeah. Wow.
Dang it, China.
Holy shit. Okay, in Russia, it was the second highest grossing film ever.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
What's
In
the highest
Russia?
grossing film
Wait.
in Russia?
And it first was Avatar, so okay, fine, that makes sense, right? But
Yeah.
this is second. Jesus. And then of course China, fucking $170 million. So China had like, wait, China had, wow, okay, it grossed more in China than it did here by like a little tiny bit more. But yeah, that's.
Freaking-
Or wait, no, wow, okay, it's like the same. Okay, it's actually a tiny bit less. So here was 172.6 million. China was 172.3 million.
Oh, okay.
So, but still, like, China's usually below. Wow, okay, so no one. Fucking China, okay. I'm gonna, like. I know this is, like, not important for now because it doesn't really come up till later, but in terms of something that actually impacts us in terms of this challenge. But China has fucked up a lot of shit when it comes to, like, giving bad movies a fuckload of money.
Yep.
Eh.
Like, there's one movie in particular that's near the end of this challenge, which we will get to, and the only reason we are seeing it is because of China. So, fucking hell, China, why did you do this? You keep watching shit. China is like, for example, China loves, like, Transformers and, like, really, like, action shit that has, like, no substance at all, and it's like, is their normal lives just, like, so depraved because, you know, fucking totalitarian government that, like, they could just need some sort of escapism? Like, it's just weird.
I mean, probably.
But yeah, so China fucks everything up. And then also there's a whole issue with, like for example, in China you can't have films showing anything like same-sex couples, like, at all.
Oh.
So that's why, like, you won't see, like, a big name movie having them in it because they know, like, because China's, like, become such a huge market now that they're like, well, we have to sell the film in China, so therefore we can't have anybody be gay. So there's shit like that that's just, like, stupid. And I mean, look, I'm all for, no matter what, I want, like, film to, you know, grow more so it's not just US doing everything, but I want it to be done in a way that's actually good. So I hopefully China just, you know, gets over it in a few years, and then they're like, hey, we can actually make our own shit and like shit that's not just Michael Bay.
Yeah.
So
Just grow up a little bit, okay?
yeah, it's basically China is a Transformers boy.
Oh my god.
China is a middle school America.
Oh god.
So
Oh boy.
yeah. Anyway, we'll rant about this more later, but I just wanted to mention that now. But yeah, in terms of this movie, I think we've kind of said what we needed to say.
I think so too.
Speaking of action movies with literally no substance.
Oh, shit.
No.
Oh, great segue.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that until I just said it. Anyway, next time, haha, fun movie, yay.
Thanks, China.
Well, wait, this one we have ourselves to blame. Actually, we
Not
have.
thanks, China, yet.
Yeah, and I actually contributed to this, so
Ooh.
you could blame me.
I'm
I
ashamed
welcome
of
the
you.
blame. It's okay. No, I totally accept the
It's
blame.
like you can blame me and my brother for pirates.
I guess you can also blame me for a bunch of other terrible movies that we saw apparently. Like Pink Panther.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Even though that's when my babysitter took me there, but okay.
I still blame you. All right, we're done.
Okay, bye.